What is happening, people, and welcome to today's video. I want to talk to you guys about what I consider to be arguably one of the hardest oblique variations still to this day. Now, I do consider myself an individual with a relatively strong core, and I feel like I can do a lot of things with my core that many guys my size would struggle with, because it's always been a really big priority to me. However, I will say, no matter how strong my core has ever gotten, barbell overhead side bends have always been and will always be a kick in the nuts. Those of you who are fans know that I talked about this like years ago. However, I did just release my latest ebook, the RPM program, last week. So in that, I did prescribe the barbell overhead side bend, and I told in that ebook that I had a tutorial on my channel, and I absolutely do. However, said tutorial is buried inside of another oblique video, so I figured for easy reference, I would just knock this out really quick. Now, although it is called the barbell overhead side bend, for a lot of people watching this, to include myself, a barbell is going to be a heavy weight for this exercise, possibly too heavy. And on this exercise, it's much more important to actually do it correctly and feel the things you're supposed to be feeling rather than just tossing around a bunch of weight. So instead of a barbell overhead side bend, you might have some plates in your hands, or dumbbells or kettlebells, or you might be using an easy curl bar or an axle or a preset barbell, something that is lighter weight than the barbell itself, because you want to do these right, at least at first, until you get the basic idea of the movement down. Anyway, in order to perform this exercise, you want to set up with your feet shoulder width apart, with your feet tracking just slightly outward as if you were going to do a front squat or something like that. And whatever you were holding in your hands, you're going to completely extend above your head. Now, you want to keep your elbows locked out as much as possible throughout the entire movement. Now, you're going to focus on two main things. The first of which is your breathing and bracing, because the breathing and bracing is going to be the same as if you were doing a squat or a deadlift. So when you're up here, you want to get a full 360-degree awareness breath, big into your belly or in your obliques and your lower back and everything. So brace it down, and then you're going to begin the movement. This is a very, very stressful movement, and you want to keep your spine as safe as possible. So make sure the breathing and bracing is a high priority. And the second thing that you're going to want to focus on is your hips. Because even though it seems like you're going to be bending over with this bar, don't think about the bar moving. Move your hips the same way you're pushing the world away on a deadlift instead of picking the bar up. So once you have a good breathing and brace, it's braced down, your elbows are locked out here, what I would like you to do is take your left hip and start shifting it out to the 9 o'clock position. Keep pushing out, and you can take this left arm and start trying to reach with it over. When you get to the point that you don't think you can go any further, come back to center line. Now, if you're anything like me, you're gonna have to re-breathe and brace here, because that is a hard extension type of movement right there. So brace it back down, and now I'm gonna take my right hip and push it out to the 3 o'clock position. Again, pushing my right arm out, trying to extend over as far as can, and then returning to the back. Now, this all seems very easy and basic, and it is, until you get tired or a little bit of fatigue, or you start using heavier weights. Because at that point, you're going to start trying to bend forward with the bar, and your butt's going to be going back more to like 3:30 and 7 p.m. and stuff like that, rather than actual a 3 and 9, just back and forth, and that is what you want to focus on. Because again, the weight isn't as important as using the actual weights, or as using the actual movement to hit your obliques on this. All right, so yeah, there you guys go. There is a quick down and dirty about the barbell overhead side bend. Now, me personally, I like to throw oblique variations for my core on my upper body days, and I try to stick to more like planking and regular like straight up and down ab variations on my lower body days. So you will find the barbell overhead side bend on a lot of my upper body giant sets and things like that, but I do like to keep the reps relatively low, because this is such a brutal exercise that I'd rather see you do it correctly for a smaller amount of reps than try to just knock out a lot of reps. And again, the speed that I'm actually moving on this, no lie, with weight or without weight, is literally about this fast, right? I'm not gonna be able to stay braced and safe if I move much quicker than that. So take your time, make sure you're using your core the way it is designed, good breathing and bracing, good everything else, and hopefully that'll help you out. So for those of you who are running the RPM program, firstly, I want to say thank you to every single one of you who has chosen to buy that program or another one of my $25 ebooks, because that is the #1 way that this channel is supported. So if you did choose to pick up the RPM ebook, I truly, truly do want to say thank you, and now you know exactly what barbell overhead side bends are. So if you guys are interested in that program, it is not a program that's going to have you walking out with a new deadlift PR. That's not what it's about. It's about burning body fat, building conditioning, working your technique, and giving your CNS as well as your spine a break from just constant pounding and pounding and pounding. This is something I do every single year, because for those of us who are strength athletes, sometimes just taking half a step back and giving your body 9 weeks to recover with a little bit lighter stuff where you're focusing on your technique and your bar speed and things like that can really take you 2 steps forward once you get back to working everything. So this is something I do every single year for X amount of weeks depending on how my body feels. And if you are interested in how I run that and everything, then check out the RPM ebook for $25 at neversate.com/merch. Yes, there you guys go. I thank you guys so much for absolutely everything, your attention, your time, everything you guys do to help support the channel. I will catch you later in the week. Until I do, go out to something amazing, guys. Keep working hard, people. Be nice to each other. See you then.